everybody, thanks for coming back for the second half of this two-part series on line through swim baits. Today I'm going to be telling you a little bit about how to fish swim baits during different seasons. Now the main three seasons that you're going to fish line through swim baits are spring, summer, and fall. Now I'm going to be starting with summer because it's summer right now and you can put it to use. My favorite way to fish line through swim baits during summer is in open water for suspended fish. Now the cover you're going to want to be looking for, or structure I should say, you're going to want to be looking for is steep walls out off the ends of long tapering points, and either island tops or offshore rock piles. Now these are all areas where fish can move up and down in the water column really easy. One of the great things about line through swim baits for this kind of fishing is that you can significantly cut the distance between you and your lure and the fish. That way if your fish suspend in 20, 30, 40 feet of water, you can dramatically cut the distance between your lure and those fish using line throughs over wake baits. Now one of the reasons line throughs are great for this kind of fishing is they have a lot of drawing power. They offer a big, bulky profile, and they move a lot of water. Most of them have a very large tail on them and have a lot of kicking action, and that'll really get their attention from a long ways away. And if your fish suspend in particularly deep water, Matt did a great tutorial over at the Wired Angler for how to weight swim baits to get them down further. And I'll provide a link at the bottom of this page. As far as weather conditions go, calm, sunny days are fantastic for this kind of fishing. It really allows fish to see your lure from a long ways away. And now as far as color selection goes, it's really tough to beat white. In really clear bodies of water, you can use, real natural colors, but as far as almost all line through fishing goes, white is a tough color to beat, just because fish can see it from so far. Another way to fish line throughs during the summer is to fish shallow cover. Now, when I'm deciding between a wake bait and a line through, the choice is really made by what kind of cover I'm fishing. Now, there's a few kinds of cover where line throughs just really shine and are going to do a lot better than wake baits. One is going to be deeper weeds. If you're fishing really heavy weeds that are 5 or more feet underwater, line throughs are a great choice because you can get down and just tick the tops of those weeds that the bass are hiding in. Whereas a wake bait's going to be a lot further distance for fish to travel to get at it. You also don't have the same factor of angering them. You're not going to do as good a job at pissing them off and just getting them to lash out if there's an extended distance between your bait. Another kind of cover that line throughs do really well in is weeds that have broken the surface and gotten just a little too thick to run a wake bait through. Now, this probably sounds a little strange just because wake baits have trebles hanging off the bottom and line throughs use a treble as well. The big difference being line throughs have less trebles and their trebles tucked up against the bottom of the bait. And they come through weeds surprisingly well, so when the vegetation is just getting a little too dense to be able to run a wake bait through it, line throughs are a great option because they'll just chug right through that stuff and can really pull fish out of that. Another kind of cover that works really well for throwing line throughs around during the summer is docks. Because it's just inevitable that when you're fishing around docks, eventually you're going to bounce a lure off of one. And especially when you're fishing at night, it's just impossible to avoid. And the nice thing is line throughs don't have any internal rigging and they don't break. There's no big foam harness in them that you can break, anything like that. And it's just painful when you break a $20, $30, $80 swim bait on a dock. That hurts. One thing that can be key when you're fishing this way at night is deep water access nearby. Because fish are going to be sitting in this kind of structure for one of two reasons. Either one, it holds bait fish, it provides an ambush point, and most importantly, it provides shade during the heat of the day. And the other reason they'll be there is it holds bait fish, and they're moving up at night to feed on. Whether you're fishing during the day or night, it's going to be about the same. These baits have a lot of drawing power, so what you want to do is just let them do their work, pull the fish out of the cover. You want to stay close to it, and usually just parallel the cover. Chuck and wind with about a medium retrieve, and let the lure do the work for you. The other main two seasons that you're going to fish is spring and fall. Now, during these two times a year, fishing these baits is incredibly simple and very effective. Basically, it's a giant spinnerbait. It's the exact same bites, you fish the same cover, at the same retrieves, you are targeting bigger fish. Now, not to say that this is exclusively a big fish bait, because we'll catch, 1.5, 2 pounders throwing these things. During those two seasons, if you know how to throw a spinnerbait, set it down and pick up a swim bait rod. One of the great things about spring, especially late in the pre-spawn and all the way through the post-spawn, is that you can get a lot of bites on these just running bait, fishing fast. And it's just a great way to get some confidence in throwing spinnerbaits. Because line through swim baits aren't that expensive. As far as swim baits go, they're definitely on the lower end. And they're simple to rig up. A lot of them you can use on other gear. So if you go out and you throw a 6 to 7 inch bait, you'll definitely pull some bigger bites, and you'll still get a lot of fish. So it's just a great confidence building tool. One thing to remember about that though is these are a reaction bait, so don't fish too slow. I know guys pick up a swim bait and think you have to just barely crawl them along, but just go out and forget it's a swim bait. I mean, with these you can really pick up the pace a little and fish fast with them, especially during the post-spawn. You'll find that you get a lot of your bites when you're just cruising along. Sorry I didn't have anything just revolutionary for you about spring and fall fishing with these, but there really is no difference between these and spinnerbaits or shallow crankbaits. The only difference is your average fish is bigger. Alright, well, I know I cruised right along through these 3 seasons, so if you have any questions or if I missed something, please do leave a comment below. I'm more than happy to help you out.